one of the most hated PCs over the past year. It's the Snapdragon-powered Surface Pro 11. Now, this device promised to usher in a new era of computing, similar to what Apple did with their M line of chips. But according to a lot of people, this was a half-baked attempt and did not achieve the levels of success that Apple did. But I gotta say, for me, this is my favorite Windows computer I've ever owned. It's not perfect, it does have a few shortcomings that we will cover in this video, but honestly, overall, for a lot of people, I think this is a fantastic option that's only going to be getting better in the future. So this is my setup. We have the Surface Pro 11 on a stand I got off of Amazon, and I have it paired with a high quality wireless mechanical keyboard and a wireless gaming mouse. Now, something I've really come to appreciate about the Surface 11 is the built-in kickstand. So technically, I don't even need this. I could just have the tablet like so. And I've also found myself using the stand in the most extended position, because this makes it really convenient for tabletop use. But overall, I think this is a super clean setup enabled uniquely by the form factor of this device. Now, the reason why I chose the Surface in particular over other comparable 2-in-1 devices has to do with the display, because this is both OLED and high refresh rate at 120 Hz. And for some reason, that is still a pretty rare combination. And then of course we have the ARM chip. This one I spec'd it with the Snapdragon X Elite, so the slightly better version, with 32 GB of RAM. And according to the benchmarks, the Snapdragon X Elite is definitively a very good chip, and in my usage I found that to mostly be true. So for example, launching applications like web browsers, even heavier applications. So we have After Effects here. All these applications run extremely smoothly. I did a side-by-side render test between this and a budget gaming laptop that had a dedicated RTX 2050, and this Snapdragon X Elite chip had roughly a 50% faster render time. Now, the issue here, of course, is compatibility. This is an ARM chip. It's different than the usual x86. But if I come into Task Manager here and go to this Details tab, I can see which applications are native ARM versus x86. Really, the only apps I found so far that do not have an ARM version are Audacity, Blender, and Steam. And thanks to the built-in automatic translation software, all these applications do run on this PC. The only issue I had is with Steam games. Unfortunately, this is still not a gaming PC. So when it comes to this Snapdragon chip, objectively, the performance is really good. And at this point, the compatibility is also good enough for most things, really aside from gaming. But the other key thing that this ARM chip made me realize is that the Windows operating system isn't as bad as I thought it was. So my experience with Windows up until this point is that it's a very inefficient operating system. So it's heavy and there's constantly applications and just things running in the background that negatively affect the overall performance and especially the battery life. And in particular, one huge pet peeve was the inefficiency of sleep mode. They could still technically be on and consuming, in some cases, quite a bit of power. But this device, with its ARM chip, is much more similar to Android and iOS devices. It doesn't always have a bunch of random things in the background that it's wasting power on, and when you put it into sleep mode, it actually sleeps and doesn't really use that much battery. And that's why I've really fallen in love with this device, and it's by far my favorite PC ever. Prior to this, I just didn't know it was possible to have more of a mobile smartphone experience while having access to the full power of Windows. I mean, again, I can run full After Effects here, do some serious motion graphics and video editing, and then I could just minimize the window, put it into sleep mode, and it actually sleeps and behaves like my phone. Again, I found that most applications at this point have an ARM native version, and the only real area that this thing falls short is when it comes to gaming. But I gotta say, when it comes to gaming, thanks to the rise of these portable handheld game PCs, buying one of these for gaming and then keeping this as your main PC might be the best of both worlds. But for now, I'll go ahead and leave this Surface and all of my accessories linked below the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed.